Hello and welcome. I guess if we had to give this presentation a name, we would probably call it the People of the Field Days. You're going to hear tonight, apart from me, from a couple of other people who have either had a contribution towards the Field Days or a contribution from the Field Days. A little bit of history. The Field Days started back in the 1980s on a farm in Malanda. And in those days, there were 4 clubs here on the Tablelands, as well as Atherton and Mareeba. We had a club in Malanda and a club in Kuranda. And those 4 clubs made up the committee that got this whole juggernaut that we have now off the ground.
My memories of the Field Days was going out to the prison when it first started. The Atherton and Mareeba Rotary Club were involved then. My father was one of the founding members of the Field Days. It was only a very small event then, probably maybe 20 exhibitors. And then it's slowly grown from there to the Walkerman Caravan Park and then out to the rodeo grounds.
You've really got to take your hats off to the people who started this originally, because they really had to get it going virtually from the ground up. Of course, there was nothing there previously, and we pretty much just rode on their coattails. We have got some of the most passionate people, committed people that you're ever going to see involved in the committee organising the Field Days now, and that's, along with the 2 consultants that we have, is entirely their reason for the success that we see in the Field Days these days.
The Field Days mean the community getting together, donating our time, volunteers showcasing the best of the Tablelands, a smile, raise some money for the community. Field Days was great.
Well, ever since I was a little boy, I'd always look forward to the Field Days when it was out at Walkerman at Lotus Glen, and it was much smaller back then. And it's so impressive to see the size that it's got to today, and it's an honour to be on the committee and to have been part of it. So what is the biggest Field Days to date. It's my first year on the committee, and looking forward to the next event. It's just growing from strength to strength, and it's just an honour to be part of the Rotary team.
I don't think they would have ever seen or envisaged that the Field Days would be this big and this successful. It's just an amazing thing for the communities. So it's a testament to all those ones who sort of started this off. I'll say the older generation, because they are older now, and some aren't with us anymore. And so we're just trying to carry the flame and keep this getting bigger and better and benefit for the communities.
Field Days showcase the wonderful diversity of the agricultural industry on the Tablelands. It's a very, very rich area for growing, and at the same time it's supporting those people who support them.
What we're building here is incredible. We start on a ground that is totally empty, and we build a city over 5 days, and then now everyone is here, the bus is going. And because I've been emailing and talking to a lot of the exhibitors leading up to the event and during the last couple of days when they've been setting up, and there is so much positive response coming back and great comments back to both the committee and the Rotary Club. They're saying they're most friendly, professionally, not only just friendly Rotarians, but also very professional event, and they keep coming back.
I added up the other day, between the 10 committee members and the 2 consultants that we have, I reckon we'd have to have pretty much, or pretty close to 50 Field Days between us, which is a pretty incredible achievement when you think about it.
My heart is beating fast, and I'm feeling pretty proud to be part of it. It's been a long road with lots of different things with COVID-19, but hey, we just go take the challenge. I'd call it for challenge, and then we deal with it and we take next challenge. And I don't think anything has stopped us.
I think this event in particular, given the circumstances, I mean, when we started looking at organising this event early last year, a lot of other events were being cancelled because committees were saying it was just too much work and too risky. We decided that we really needed to go ahead with it, the community needed it, and Yeah, we managed to not just pull off, but pull off probably which is one of the most successful events that has been held to date.
What makes a difference for me is the ability to serve in the community and to give back what I feel that I owe back to the community and that for what they've given me.
Oh, look, I absolutely love it, and I'm going to cry. I love it because, mainly because they say good morning, have a lovely day, and people stop and talk to me and look at that, and they look at me and they look at everything, and that's the main part. You welcome them first thing in the morning.
The field day for our farmers, this is known all over Queensland. People come from even different parts of Australia to come to this field day because it's awesome, that's right.
One really good thing about it, it's run by 2 Rotary clubs, and 100% of the money that comes from the profit goes back into the community. And that's pretty unique, because most of these big field days are run by some company or whatever, and any profit they make goes into their pockets, not into the community. So that makes a big difference, actually.
The money that's raised with the field days is always very important, of course. That's the reason we do it, I guess. And if we put the amount of work that we put into these field days, if you didn't raise a considerable amount of money, you probably wouldn't do it. But there's so many projects, and the Atherton Club anyway, are projects both nationally and internationally. Probably some of the most important ones of recent times. The group that helps the Atherton Hospital, we made quite a sizable donation a couple of years ago that helped them get themselves on their feet, and it's led to, I believe, quite substantial fundraising events from that. Also, the last field days, not directly from the Atherton Club, this one was more from the Field Days Committee, but the men's sheds right across the tablelands shared in a very considerable donation. And of course, our biggest project with the Atherton Club for the last few years has been the restoration of the Rocky Creek Igloo, this beautiful building that you're sitting in here tonight. We took that project on several years ago, and I don't know if anybody remembers what it used to look like, but to see the photos of what it did look like then, with the scaffolding inside being the only thing that was stopping the roof from caving in, to this building that you see here tonight, it's quite incredible. We also have, with the international side of things, we have an ODI orphanage and school operating in Cambodia, in Siem Reap, that we have contributed substantial funds to over the last few years, and also the Nepali Hospital Foundation that's operated by 2 of our members, Digby and Ann Hoyle.
Field Days contributions to the communities is extensive, too many to list. One is the Rotary Park at the top of the granite. We keep improving that. That takes funds that the council would usually spend, and we spend up there. I think the Mariba Hospital's been listed as some. When we had the cameras there from Mariba Hospital, volunteers get paid, so they take it back to their charities. So it's numerous charities that benefit from the field days. Even the high school students that come out, they come out on a regular basis, and they go around to all the stalls and see what innovations are likely for them when they come out of school.
It's not just the money raised for our clubs, it's also the money that goes back into the communities through all the businesses and the exhibitors that come along, and most of them are local. So that money all gets turned back again into the communities in many different ways.
So Field Days is another way that we network with our community. So Field Days network with the Mariba Hospital Foundation, Friends of the Hospital Foundation, and partnerships with these organisations benefit staff, patients and our community. Different projects we've had over the years have helped in patient comfort at our hospital. One of the examples is the playground where we're sitting at the moment, right next to our children's ward, and that aids in kids being able to come outside in a safe place, and putting a positive experience into their hospital stay improves their recovery. So the more we have activities like this where we partnership with Field Day and other organisations, it's going to benefit all of us into the future.
Myself personally, the highlight for me, I guess, is the friendships and the camaraderie and the connections that we make with, the people that that are fellow Rotarians and volunteers that we've known. Some of the people all their lives. So I've seen people here that I've been friends with, and we've done joint projects together, and that gives me energy, I suppose, to keep building for the next time. And also for me, it's about helping people and seeing if we can make a difference in people's lives. I think if we can, save one person or really help some person or help a business or help an individual, that is exactly what we do it for. Myself personally, that's what I do it for.
It was good doing the field day out there, working with Q Health and also working with the men's shed, and getting them involved, as well as giving them a hand, recruiting new members. And my big role that I found out there was trying to reach the Indigenous community out there and getting the Indigenous men involved with the men's shed.
I am immensely proud of the work that this committee has put together. I knew when I took over, the only reason I took the job on was because I knew who was going to be on the committee, and I knew that those people on the committee had done the job before, and everybody knew their job. And yeah, look, everybody has just done such an amazing job. It's been incredible to work with people like this.
One of the greatest things about field days, I would have to say, basically, is this. Just people coming together, seeing people that you may not see for 2 years, but you catch up at the field days. So seeing the community come together, people come together, and then just seeing the increase that businesses receive and the smiles on their faces when they've had a great 3 days at the Rotary FNQ Field Days does it for me. Knowing that, the money and the time that they put into it and the time that we as volunteers has put into it has been all worthwhile at the end of it. And when they say that, when they come up and they thank us and they can't wait for another 2 years, that makes our hearts happy, and that's why we do what we do.
Looking at the people, the volunteers, the people through the gates, and just hearing some of the stories. And this year, we seem to have so much more contact being made with us through various different ways. It was directly, emails, and even letters from people just saying how wonderful the event was and how proud they were to be a part of it. I think my favourite one was from a lady, an elderly lady in Mariba, who has worked for several years or several events as a volunteer. And she wrote us a beautiful letter about what she had got out of the event. And I've actually asked Nina to frame that and put it on the wall of our office, because I think we've got to think that that's what we're doing it for. That's the reason why we're here. That's the reason why we're doing it. Yes, we make the money, but it's also giving back to the community in so many other different ways.
Some of the moments that we have is just the interaction between the Atherton and Mariba Rotarians. Usually we do projects separately, but this is one project where we get together as a region for the tablelands, not just for Mariba and Atherton. It's something that we're together for.
It's just something about field days. I say we all get field day fever, and it's just something that you want to be a part of.